Welcome back to Humber News. It's time to take a look at our weather with Natasha Farron.
Right now, temperatures are sitting at about 9 degrees, but they will continue to rise right into Saturday and Sunday. Let's have a look at our 5-day forecast. We'll hit a high of 14 today, expect sunny periods with light winds. Evening temperatures will drop to a low of 6. It's going to be bright and sunny with clear skies on Saturday. Temperatures will reach a season high of 14 and a low of 5. The sun will continue to shine on Sunday with a mix of clouds. You can expect a high of 15 and a low of 8. It'll be mainly cloudy for back to school Monday. We'll see temperatures drop to a high of only 12 degrees and a low of 5 in the evening. And on Tuesday, temperatures will continue to drop. Expect a high of 11 and a low of 4. It's mid-October and November temperatures are sneaking in, and we all know what that may bring. So get out this weekend and enjoy it, because cooler weather is expected to move in early next week. That's it for weather. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natasha. Now to news from Canada and around the globe. An entire RCMP detachment in Nunavut is taking stress leave following a recent string of gun crimes in the area. All 4 RCMP officers assigned to Cape Dorset and Nunavut say the increase in gun violence in the Baffin Island community, especially during the past week, has been very disturbing. The officers were not only involved in a 3.5-hour standoff and a suspicious death last Sunday, they also faced a shootout with 2 youths on Wednesday. RCMP Chief Superintendent Steve McVarnick says in the meantime, they will bring in extra officers to the town to help keep the community safe.
Overseas, Chinese activists loyal to Nobel Peace Prize winner Liu Xiaobo want China to give them the right to freedom of speech. Dozens of Liu's supporters say they have been detained, harassed, or kept from leaving their homes. Police in Beijing have not responded to the complaints of harassment.
Residents are beginning to return home to Kalantar in Hungary after the town was flooded with toxic red sludge last week. A wall is now being built in the town to prevent any more spills of red sludge. Greenpeace says it's too early to send residents back home. It says there's a lack of data on the area's safety. 9 people died in the flood and 50 are still being treated in hospital.
Residents of Hong Kong can now get their Big Macs with a side order of wedding vows. The McDonald's chain in the Asian city has been fielding requests from couples wanting to hold ceremonies in its restaurants. The so-called McWeddings will cost couples about $400 Canadian, and they will include burger buffets as well as a wedding cake made of apple pies. Unfortunately for newlyweds, restaurants will remain open to the public during ceremonies and an alcohol ban will remain in effect.
Now let's see what Maddie Jo Tilley has for us from the world of sports.
I'm Maddie Jo Tilley, and here's what's making news in sports. The Humber men's golf team kicks off the final day of the CCAA Championship with a 22-stroke edge. Hawks golfer David Lang holds the overall lead, shooting a 67, a 4-stroke lead over the Niagara College golfer Chad Curry. Hawks captain Mark Hoffman sits in a tie for 5th, shooting a solid 71. The Hawks have won 8 of their last 10 national championships. The Humber women's soccer team shut out the Sheridan Bruins 4-0 yesterday. Following suit to the men's team, they too will get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Humber hosts the quarterfinal game Saturday at noon. Canada's richest horse race takes place tomorrow at Woodbine Racetrack. The fastest horses from all over the world will be there. They will be competing in the Pattison Canadian International for $2 million. Redwood, a horse from Great Britain, is the 2-to-1 favorite in the 9-horse field. The 1.5-mile-long race goes down at 5:40 p.m. The famous Secretariat's very last race was the Canadian International. In NHL action, the Toronto Maple Leafs pay a visit to the New York Rangers tonight. The Leafs are a surprising 3-0, while the Rangers are coming off a 6-4 loss at the hands of the Islanders. J.S. Giguere gets the start for the Leafs, while Henrik Lundqvist gets the nod for the Rangers. Rangers captain Chris Drury will return to the lineup tonight. He's missed the first 2 games of the season with a broken finger. The puck drops at 7 p.m. And recapping last night's action, the Florida Panthers shut out the Calgary Flames 3-0. Panthers goalie Thomas Vokoun earned his 39th career shutout. The Edmonton Oilers lost their first game of the season 4-2 to the Minnesota Wild. Mikko Koivu scored his first 2 goals of the season, and Nicholas Backstrom made 24 saves, his first win of the year. And finally, the Ottawa Senators won their first game of the season over the Carolina Hurricanes. But it wasn't all good news for Ottawa. Starting goalie Pascal Leclerc left the game early in the first with a lower body injury. And the MLB playoffs resume tonight with the New York Yankees taking on the Texas Rangers. Yankees ace CC Sabathia gets the start in Game 1, and Texas will counter with C.J. Wilson. First pitch is at 8 p.m. in Texas. That's all for sports. Now back to Jared and Rachel in the studio.
Thanks, Maddie Jo. After the break, Mesa Elajami will have the latest in entertainment.
Coming up in entertainment, Fashion Week kicks off in Toronto, Chilean miners spiked the ratings, and IMDb.com celebrates its 20th birthday. All that and more after the break.